Hi everyone, Stacy here with I Advise. I wanted to bring this update to you on some new news within the NCAA regarding the House settlement and also the NLI program. Okay, let's review the House versus NCAA settlement first. Judge Wilkin did give her preliminary approval this past week. So, just to overview some of the details of the settlement, $2.75 billion in damages will be paid to thousands of college athletes over 10 years. Second part, schools will now be able to share millions to the tune of $21, $22 million annually with their athletes. Third, new roster limits will be set in place for each sport. And within that, there'll be zero scholarship limits. So each kid on the roster can receive some type of athletic scholarship. And that will be affecting the recruits starting now and the class of 2025. So the timeline for the final approval of the House settlement, there's some time where people can bring their objections. That's scheduled, I think, for January. The finalized time for that, and then the final approval is for March and April this spring. So we still do have some time until this House versus NCAA settlement is approved. But we are starting to see the effects of its probable approval this spring. So the second update I wanted to discuss is the NLI program. That is the National Letter of Intent program. It has been eliminated. Effective immediately. So the NCAA Division I Council just approved the elimination of this particular program, which is actually kind of a big deal because this program has been in place for the past 60 years, since 1964. This is how our student athletes have been signing these binding agreements between themselves and the colleges. So this is a big deal. However, not to panic, it should be replaced by a new financial aid agreement that will function similarly to the old NLI, but it will likely be also tied to a contract related to the pending revenue sharing model that I just talked about. So within this, there's some legislature up about transfer athletes, how they will be allowed to sign with a new school after they have entered the portal formally. And once a prospect has signed an offer of athletic aid, the other schools will be prohibited from recruiting them. Further communication, right? So this revenue sharing is supposed to start in the year of 2025 to 2026. So this will affect the recruiting class of 2025. I believe the main idea behind this is that, and I actually just got off the phone with someone from the NCAA. They are making it so an athlete can only sign one document. Apparently, athletes were signing multiple documents, and college coaches were a little bit blind to how many they were signing. So this way, the athlete will only be able to sign one document, and then it will be actually marked within the NCAA Eligibility Center that they have signed a document. My further note I want to mention is that the dates for signing, the signing periods, the signing dates, they should not change. And those can be found with a quick Google search. If you just Google NCAA bylaw 13.02.13, they're there. So if you were looking forward to signing a financial aid agreement this upcoming November 13th, that date will likely still be the date. There should not, as far as I foresee right now, any changes to that. The kind lady on the NCAA did tell me they're having a meeting next week. So I should be paying attention to see if there's any changes next week. Obviously, if there are, I will update everybody to any further changes. But, this is all ongoing. We are in a period of change within NCAA, and it does affect recruiting. It does affect the process. and we'll just have to stay on top of it as much as we can. Hopefully this is helpful.